Hello, Toads and Toadettes. In the recent years, Pokemon has taken a turn in a controversial direction. There has been either a new mainline Pokemon or a remake every year. You could tell these games were being rushed, and despite us getting a divisive remake of Diamond and Pearl in late 2021, early 2022 had a new mainline game. But this time, they finally broke free of the traditional formula and gave us the start of a new mainline series with Pokémon Legends Arceus. So let's see why this game is definitely the best Pokemon game on Switch. Starting off with the story, don't worry about spoilers, this is just the beginning cutscene. You are confronted by a legendary creature, which is Arceus. He basically gives you an iPhone. I'm pretty sure that's your map. And you get thrown on this island, which is the Hisui region, which is the Sinnoh region, but years and years before it actually became Sinnoh, which is actually really cool. But then this professor, he finds you, and like usual, you pick a starter. This game does not have any new starters, but it does have some pretty solid ones, being Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott. Rowlet's always the best. Cyndaquil's overrated. Rowlet's the way to go. Alright, moving on. You then join this team that the professor's working for, the Galaxy Team, which there's 3 teams: Galaxy Team, Diamond, and Pearl Clan, which is a reference to Diamond and Pearl, obviously. And basically, the Galaxy Team researched the Pokemon of the region, as there's not much known about them in the current time. There's also this rift in the sky, which becomes way bigger in the story later in the game. Next is the gameplay, which is controls, graphics, and basically what you're actually doing in the game. Starting with the graphics, the game is in HD, which is to be expected, but runs at a sad 30 frames per second. Obviously, Pokemon games aren't known for having the best graphics, as I guess Game Freak can just care less about that. I mean, it's modern Game Freak, so what did I really expect with the graphics in this game? Moving on, Pokémon Legends Arceus reimagines Pokemon. In this game, Pokemon have not been yet domesticated, so going out to catch them is supposed to be dangerous. So, moving on, what makes this game so different and so special compared to the other games on Switch? Well, it's not really rushed. But, besides that point, the big thing about this game is that they throw you into a very open level, but it's not completely open, where you can run around and catch whatever Pokemon you want, with the occasional "you need blah blah blah" to pass. To elaborate, let us start with just the levels. There are 5 levels, with each one being pretty huge. Instead of you going through routes to reach a city and then challenging the gym leader, there's an area you go through with missions and then a boss at the end. And honestly, the missions in this game are pretty simple. They're usually just go here, talk to that person, go there, battle that person, which is extremely easy. Like, you can one-shot most of their Pokemon if you're actually taking your time with the game. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but then there's also the annoying missions, like the hide-and-seek one was super annoying, had you going everywhere. But these missions are honestly just there for progression, something to throw story progression at you. That's probably the only thing they could have came up with. There's probably way better stuff to do besides the missions, but for some reason they decided to have these in the game, and they could have handled these better for the most part. There are also requests, which are just side quests, and these are honestly handled better. They're optional, and in the main village, which is the hub world of this game, which I'll get to later, they can be found. There's just the citizens of the village. You talk to any of them that have a request icon above their head, give a request. Maybe it's like, I need a ground type Pokemon to remove the rocks on the field, and then I'll be able to farm more. So you get like a Geodude, or yeah, just a Geodude, and then you finish the request. Now you have more land for farming and maybe some more Pokédollars. So I think requests were just handled way better, and they're actually not that bad, as you actually can help you with the game progression with the Pokédex, and you get rewards for doing it. The characters in this game are pretty expressive and pretty memorable, especially Volo. And maybe it's for the wrong reasons, as I'll get to that in the replayability section. Holy crap, will I not forget Volo. Also, in this are huge levels, like I said, which contain Pokemon. That's pretty surprising, I know it. So much Pokemon in this. Well, actually, there's only 242, which is pretty low to the actual amount of Pokemon in existence. But, catching these Pokemon can either be from a battle, which is what usually is the case, and I'll get to the actual battling later, or by what's new, by sneaking them and just catching them off guard with maybe a back strike. This is very cool. This is one of the biggest things in this game, just being able to sneak up on Pokemon, see them in the overworld. It's absolutely sick. And now that I don't gotta battle Pokemon and lower their health and lower my Pokemon's health, and that's just a big time saver, and it saves the hassle. I love this. Just so cool sneaking in grass. When you're in grass, they don't hear you as much. Oh, I don't know, I love this. This was like the most fun thing to do in this game. Like usual, there are different types of Pokeballs, with 3 main types just being normal Pokeballs, Feather Balls, and Heavy Balls. There are 3 different balls for each type. For example, there's a Pokeball, then a Great Ball, then an Ultra Ball. How do you get these balls? Well, I'm saying balls a lot, I'm gonna stop saying balls. But you do get them by buying them or crafting them, and I'll stop thinking of Minecraft. In a world, you can find items laying around, or just after murdering every last bit of a Pokemon, or just by catching it. You can use those items to craft Pokeballs or other healing items like potions or revives. Moving on to the next thing you can do with your Pokemon around you is fight them. Using the Pokemon you have caught, you can beat them to death. The other Pokemon I'm talking about, not your own Pokemon. Stop the Pokemon abuse. And, well, that is only for XP. Which, it works like any Pokemon game with XP. Your Pokemon just level up, get more health, more stats, and yeah. In a battle system, you can run like a coward, but don't do it. Don't be a coward. Use items to catch the Pokemon or heal yours. Switch out your Pokemon. Or, like stated earlier, beat it to death. Now, going over the types, basically, before I was never really good at, memorizing Pokemon types. I was in a battle, maybe it was a gym leader battle, and I would just look up if this move was effective. I'm not the one who has the brain mental capacity to remember, it was like 70-something different type interactions. But this game solves it. It has been, this feature's been in other Pokemon games, but this game also has it, where it will tell you if a move is super effective, or not that effective, or just not effective at all. It's very nice. I very appreciate this. I just cannot, for some reason, memorize every single type when it's not effective. It's just all that crap. Screw that. I love this. Keep this in future Pokemon games, please. Something new to the battle system are strong and agile style moves. Strong style moves do more damage, but eventually the enemy will be able to do 2 moves in one turn. While agile style moves do less damage, but eventually you will be able to do 2 moves in one turn. I actually saw myself constantly using these, and not gonna lie, they're actually pretty useful. This is something I hope to see in other Pokemon games, maybe the more traditional Pokemon games. This would be cool to see. And also, in the battle system, you can see the move list, like after your turn, who's going next, and this helps out to know when your agile style moves or strong style moves are actually gonna do what they're gonna do, where it gives the other enemy 2 turns or you 2 turns. Love that little move list. I always have it on. I don't know why you would turn that off, but yeah, I love the little move list thing in battles. The battles also take place where you encountered the Pokemon, and that is just awesome. Like, you'll just be sneaking up on a Pokemon, and maybe they see you, so you fight them, you throw your Pokemon out, and wherever you were just standing, the battle starts. It doesn't do a loading screen, then go to a set area where you fight the Pokemon. Last thing about battles I want to go over are trainers. It's just the same thing, but someone controls the Pokemon and they can heal it and all that. Nothing much different with the trainers. They're usually easy, at least, and there's actually only trainers in the missions. There's not that much trainer battles in this game. And you can't even do battles online, which is pretty sad, but, I mean, I'm pretty sure this game will get Pokemon Home support, which means you can just transfer your Pokemon to a different Pokemon game on Switch, that maybe has online battling like Sword and Shield. So it's not a big deal, but you can trade your Pokemon online, which is to be expected, and it works pretty well. The animations in this game are which is not surprising, but hey, they're better than Pokemon Cash and Grabs animations. Pokemon Sword and Shield's animations. Now, what about the Pokédex? It does return in Legends, but it's actually pretty different. The new twist is that there are research tasks for you to do for each and every Pokemon. Some tasks are to catch a number of that Pokemon or feed a number of that Pokemon, small things like that. Each task will give you a certain number of points for that Pokemon research level. Reach 10 points and you have completed that Pokédex entry. Now, if you do all the research tasks for one Pokemon, you will 100% the entry, which can be a little bit tedious, but rewards you with a better chance of finding a shiny version of that Pokemon. Completing the Pokédex completely in this game will reward you with a shiny charm. That is a lot of work, and I do not got the time for that. I feel like the tasks are fun, but a little bit grindy, and I feel like the next game they can maybe shorten them a little bit. I just felt like they were a little bit too grindy, and that didn't really give me the motivation that I needed to actually do all these completely. I just did some to, just get the Pokédex entries completed, which has an incentive besides the shiny thing later, which I'll get to. There are also Alpha Pokemon, which are just stronger versions. In the overworld, you'll know by the little red eyes they have glowing with fire. And these are actually pretty good and pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. I remember finding an Alpha Snorlax very early into the game, and I didn't know what an Alpha Pokemon was, and I just got absolutely obliterated trying to catch it. But yeah, they are pretty menacing. One last thing to mention about Pokemon are their Hisuian forms, which they're all pretty nice. They're pretty good. My most favorite one is Quillfish. Love that one. Decidueye is another good one. Samurott. Love them all. Love the Hisuian forms. I'm very glad that they did this, especially that there's not really any new Pokemon. At least they did new forms. Now, going to the incentive for completing Pokédex entries or just catching Pokemon is that it gives you, the trainer, XP that can raise your Galaxy team rank. The higher the rank, the more money you earn, higher level Pokemon will obey you, and you can get new recipes for Pokeballs or healing items. Most of these benefits besides the recipes, were when you get a new badge in Pokemon games, like you'd get more Pokemon to obey you, and now they just turned it into a level system. Getting these XP can be pretty easy at first, but once you get level 8, it can get a little bit grindy to get to level 9, but once you're level 8, you have most of the Pokeballs that you're going to be wanting, especially the Jet Ball. Now, what else is there to do in these huge areas besides missions or catching Pokemon? Just dang explore! The areas are huge, and just running around and doing research tasks was amazing. The time I had just hopping on Wardeer and exploring was magnificent. The sense of exploration in this game is honestly awesome. Even though there's not really that much to find, just going around and maybe seeing an Alpha Pokemon and going to catch it is just very fun. Looking at what tasks you want to complete, for what entries you need to complete, and just running around and looking for those Pokemon are really cool. More stuff that also happens in these areas are mass outbreaks, which are in a certain area, a bunch of Pokemon will be spawning, and this is a very good way to catch shinies. They also have these mass outbreaks for Alpha Pokemon too, which gets pretty crazy. So just overall, running around in these areas are just very fun, especially when you get the Pokemon that you can ride. Yes, there are Pokemon you can ride. Like I said earlier, Wardeer. Wardeer just works as a deer who can run and jump and dash. He is pretty useful in the beginning of the game, but once you get the last, I'll call them Pokemon partners, that becomes very useless. Second one is Ursaluna. Just is for finding treasure or for mission purposes, not really good for anything else. Then there's Basculegion, which lets you go across water, which is very cool. I actually very enjoyed going on Basculegion, just going in the water, catching Pokemon, finding the islands. Love Basculegion. Then there's also Sneasler, which can just help you climb mountains, which is, I don't really care for Sneasler, but it is pretty useful. And then the last one is Braviary, which just lets you fly, and that is the most useful one because you can just go on top of the mountains, full speed, dashing. It just gives you so much freedom. You can go wherever you want at a very fast pace. Now, if these areas are too huge for you, you can also teleport to certain points on the map. Now, you don't get to choose these, but there are some parts of the maps that you can just teleport to, and this does speed up the game quite a lot. So yeah, like I said, just exploring these areas are just very fun, and like I said, the time I had exploring was just magnificent. Another thing you can do in these areas are boss battles, which are some of the best in the franchise, as they aren't the turn-based battles you are used to. Instead, they are battles that have you dodging big, frenzied Pokemon, and by throwing bombs at them, you will damage them and quell their frenzy. These were really refreshing, as they were not all easy, especially the Arcanine and Abalug ones. I was really not looking forward to gym battles in Pokemon games that much, especially when Gen 6 came. The game was easy, didn't really care for the gym battles, I was just trying to get them over with. This game, I was looking forward to the next boss. It was very cool. I hope they do this in the next Legends game. I think they should stick to gym leaders for normal, traditional Pokemon, but continue this frenzy Pokemon thing for the next Legends game. These boss fights were very memorable and very fun. The last thing I want to mention are the legendaries and mythical Pokemon. There are a lot of returning ones in this game, and they are pretty sick to get. Dialga and Palkia's new forms are also sick. But anyways, love the legendaries and the mythicals. And before I end this segment off, one thing I do not want to forget is the hub world, which is Jubilife Village. This is where you can take most requests, not all requests though, and it's just also just nice to explore. The song is awesome. The song is very good in that place. There's also like a ranch, which is basically where you can have a lot of space for your Pokemon. You can release them there. Also like the Galaxy Team building, which is basically the headquarters, where you can take requests from the professor's blackboard, check your research level, which you can already do on your Pokedex though. Just very cool stuff there. There's also the shop, the marketplace, where you can buy Pokeballs, healing items, XP candies, all that good stuff. Then there's also the craft shop, which is where you can buy crafting materials and also recipes. The XP candy shop is another one. You can also buy clothes to customize your character, which can make you look pretty snazzy. There's also the hair salon, which can also make you look pretty snazzy. And then there's also the photo booth, which can capture you being pretty snazzy. All that sounds pretty snazzy to me, I'm not gonna lie. Before I start wrapping this section up, you can also evolve your Pokemon. Basically, when they get a certain level, which is a different level for each Pokemon, they can evolve into another Pokemon. Basically, completely different Pokemon, which is just a stronger version of the former form. Last thing for this section are the controls. The controls in this game are pretty solid. I didn't really have a problem with them. My only thing, it's not really a control issue, is that when you're falling off a mountain, it just looks weird, like, okay, buddy. But yeah, for the most part, the controls are nice. Next is the sound. This is the sound effects in the game and its soundtrack. Starting with the soundtrack, it is amazing. I love the Gen 4 songs remade. The Heartwood and Cloudcat Pass are some of my favorites. But what brings this soundtrack down are the sound effects. In an area, let's say you're in Obsidian Fieldlands, the first area, and you're trying to vibe to the song, and then you run into a Ponyta, let's say. Then, once that Ponyta locks onto you, it plays this tune that gets old pretty quickly, and once it gets old, it gets annoying, and it just messes up the song, and then you just kind of have to either battle or catch the Ponyta or just run away, and then the song starts playing again. So the soundtrack is good, just don't try to listen to it while you're playing. I mean, you can enjoy it in the parts that you're actually able to hear it in. The sound effects do kind of ruin the soundtrack, just listen to this somewhere else besides the game. But yeah, when you are listening to the soundtrack that's somewhere not in the game, it's pretty good. I also like the new songs that are in this game as well. And when it doesn't come to the annoying tune, the sound effects are pretty decent in Pokémon Legends Arceus as well. They're nothing special, but they aren't really bad. Moving on to replayability, this game absolutely shines. With so much tasks to do and Pokemon to catch, you're looking at a good 100 hours, not even just to 100% the game, but just to get close to doing it. Not only is there all of that to do, but there's also a post-game, where you and Volo search for Arceus, and spoiler alert, he sabotages you and summons Giratina. Holy crap, this felt like a spiritual successor to Cynthia. This battle is one of Pokemon's hardest ever. Such a hard battle, but also such a cool battle, especially the battle's theme. Besides that though, like I said, there's a bunch of other stuff to do in the game, and overall, this game just has so much replayability, and that's what makes it so good. Now, when Pokémon Legends Arceus is being compared, well, it can't because it's the only Legends game. But, since it is mainline, I can compare it to the games in the other mainline series, that being the overhead/traditional Pokémon games. It is very and drastically different from those, but if I had to say it was easily way better than certain games, it would be all of the other Switch mainline Pokémons. Now when it goes against other Pokemon games that are mainline on different consoles, that could go either way. I do think this game will continue to stand up as a fantastic game in the future, but I do think with future entries, this could be easily topped. Welcome to my complaints, and I have a few. Starting with my biggest one, it's how research tasks are a little bit too grindy. I like to 100% games, but I usually don't do it when games make it tedious or annoying, and that's what these research tasks make it. I wish in the next game they just maybe cut down the numbers on some of these research tasks. I think some of them are a little bit absurd, especially saying you have to do it 242 times. Especially when it comes to rare Pokemon, I think it gets a little bit out of hand and just kind of didn't give me the motivation I needed to actually want to 100% this game. Another complaint I had is that the music abruptly stops when a Pokemon spots you, which makes it hard to vibe while playing. The songs in this game, like I said, are good, but it's kind of ruined by the annoying tune that plays when a Pokemon spots you. Wish this maybe does not happen in the next game. Maybe just get rid of the annoying tune, just keep the little eye that appears in the top. And plus the tune's not even a good tune, it's just annoying. So I do not like that. There's also a lack of online battling. I know, yes, Pokemon also has other games on Switch that have online battling, but what if someone only has Legends Arceus, then they can't really battle with their friends, so I think it would have been cool if maybe you could have battled with your friends online or just random people. Another complaint I had is that they also could have been more Pokemon. Maybe not a national dex, but at least maybe 100 more sounds more good. 350 I would say maybe. Just feels like there's a little bit of a lack of Pokemon, maybe because of the research task. They think there's a lot to do, even though I do not really like the research task because they're a little bit too grindy, like I said. But my final complaint, and this one's not that big, it's about the missions. Not the side missions, not the requests, just the main story missions. I feel like they're very just useless and only are there for a sense of story progression. They're also extremely easy, besides the post-game ones. But when you're doing the main story missions, they feel like very easy. Just go there, and then boom, the mission's done. Or battle this person, which you just absolutely dominate, and then it's over. I feel like they could have done something cooler with these missions. These flaws do bring the game down, but I still think this game is amazing. Wrapping this up, this game is an awesome Pokemon game, and one we won't forget as it took Pokemon in a new, refreshing direction. I give Pokemon Legends Arceus a score of 88 out of 100, or 8.8 out of 10 in simpler terms. So, moral of the story, it's good to try new things, Game Freak, and just not new character models of Brilliant Diamond, but that's out of the way. On that note, guys, I hope to see you in the next one.